See right here, I mean, his command's definitely been the downfall of his year so far, but it seems to get better every time he takes the mound.
Jackson Cherry fouls away the Knights' first pitch. 80 degrees here in Tallahassee as we get things started at 6:02. Tejeda not wasting any time. Has jumped ahead of the Bears' designated hitter at 0-2. Redshirt junior from Forest, Virginia. He was an All-SoCon second-team selection last year. And lines it to first base. Daniel Cantu squeezes the first out tonight in Tallahassee.
See a great sequence of pitches right there by Tejeda. He goes fastball hard in, curveball down. Good piece of hitting right there by Jackson Cherry to get the barrel to it, but Cantu had him played perfectly.
Yoel Tejeda making his first appearance in 13 days. Last pitched here against Bethune-Cookman. Through 3 scoreless innings in that outing as he misses with ball 1 to Brandon Prince. Prince, the starting left fielder for Mercer. Senior batting .313 with 4 homers and 24 batted in. Out in front of the breaking ball there.
Yeah, he's sitting dead red on that one. They saw when you got a guy that throws 95 plus, you really got to have your timing down for that fastball.
Fastball misses low and outside. Robert Nunez calling the balls and strikes tonight with Real Presswood down at first. Danny Everett, the second base umpire. Kevin Bradley at third base. It reached 4, and Cantu's got another one. That one much softer than the line drive off the bat of Jackson Cherry. And there are 2 outs in the Mercer half of the first.
And again, Tejeda just keeping the Mercer batters off balance right there with his fastball slider combination. He goes fastball down in the zone, and again, you have to be ready to hit 95 plus. One of those pitches was up to 97, so has the batter a little out in front of that slider, which is exactly what you want to see from Tejeda as a starting pitcher.
This is Ty Daly with 2 outs in the top of the first. One of the top freshmen in the SoCon last season, hit 18 home runs, knocked in 56. Sophomore from Videa in Georgia. About a 185-mile trip for the Mercer Bears from home in Macon, Georgia. We're here for a 3-game series and swept in early May last year. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ty Daly.
Daly with a real good swing right there. Got a chance to watch Mercer take some batting practice earlier today, and their coach was throwing it pretty hard in there. He's playing it real close. I think they were getting prepped to see this hard fastball today, so they seem to have that just timed up.
Foul ball to the backstop. Daly hit a grand slam on Sunday, and rubber match loss against VMI at home for Mercer. Preseason pick to finish second in the SoCon, but off to just a 3-6 start first few weekends of conference play. Another foul ball. Daly was 4th in the SoCon as a freshman in homers and RBIs last season. Landed on the preseason all-conference team this year. 7 doubles, 9 homers, 33 RBIs. Another 2-strike delivery.
Yeah, he's having a really good at bat, spoiling some really good pitches from Tejeda right there. He seems to be really locked in. He's fouling balls off that are good pitchers' pitches, waiting for his pitch.
A long fly ball, deep right field. If it's fair, it's gone. It is foul. Well, the way he tossed aside the bat, it looked like Ty Daly was pretty confident that had a chance to be a home run, but instead to the right of the foul pole down there.
I'll tell you what, it was definitely a home run. Just maybe 5-6 feet foul, but that was another really, I mean, he turned around, 95-mile-an-hour fastball in on the hands. He's just really doing a great job this at bat. That's what I was talking about. You got to find that pitch.
He just keeps on fighting off these 2-strike pitches. Second ACC opponent on the schedule for Mercer. And lost at home last month against Georgia Tech. They'll visit the Yellow Jackets in Atlanta next month. Half swing, the appeal, no swing. Tejeda took a couple steps back towards the home dugout thinking that was strike 3. But instead the count runs full. Connor Tadaro would be next.
Yeah, it was a. Oh, I mean, that was looked like a full swing to me, but I think that must have been what Tejeda saw.
Low and inside, a terrific plate appearance worked by Daly, and he's the first base runner of the game with 2 outs in the top of the first.
That was an excellent at bat by Ty Daly, who's he's been on fire as of late, but he played that at bat very, very, very well. Saw his fastballs, got good, made Tejeda come to him with his pitches, and was able to work that down to a base on balls. So really professional at bat by Daly.
Connor Tadaro takes the breaking ball low. Next pitch from Tejeda will be his 19th here in the top of the first. Tadaro, the senior, enjoying a nice season. .333 batting average, couple home runs. Blocked by Jackson West, the catcher.
This is one of those areas that Tejeda has struggled in. He's, the base on balls, you see he's got a lot of walks in a little amount of innings. He has been throwing way more strikes lately, but anytime a pitcher has to throw with a runner on base, it can rush him a little bit and get him off his game. So
Tadaro lifts a fly ball down the right field side. Tibbs shading his eyes from the sunshine and into foul ground.
If I had to face this Florida State lineup as a pitcher, that's exactly what I'd want to do.
One of the nation's best offenses with a .331 team average. Max Williams atop the order and swings away at the first pitch. Sends a foul ball out of play. Williams, Cam Smith, James Tibbs in the top third of the order. And we highlight Tibbs. He's 11th in the country with his 15 home runs. Showed you his batting average and RBI numbers and where those ranked among the best in the country this season before the first pitch tonight. Max Williams, sophomore from Ormond Beach, transfer from Alabama. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Williams, .290 in the batting average department, 29 hits in his first 100 at-bats at Florida State. 6 doubles, 3 triples, 5 homers, 18 RBIs. There's a line shot, base hit, center field. Williams picking up where he left off, had 6 hits, 4 extra bases, and 4 RBIs over the weekend against Miami, and gets things started against Wesley Franklin in the home half of the first.
Really good piece of hitting right there by Max Williams, just sitting back on the changeup, 2 strikes, not trying to do too much, get the barrel to the ball, shoot it up the middle. Big time base hit right there from leadoff hitter.
So a leadoff base runner, here's Cam Smith. He has reached base safely in 45 consecutive games. He's been one of the nation's best in the batting average department as well. .408 on the season with 9 homers, 33 RBIs. Williams takes off as Smith sends a bouncing ball to short. It's handled there by Bradley Fry, and by putting Williams in motion, Florida State prevents the double play ball. That's the first out recorded by Wesley Franklin tonight.
Cam Smith just gets fooled a little bit right there on the changeup. Ball was up in the zone a little bit, but it had enough spin on it to slow Cam Smith's bat down. You saw him kind of almost not able to hold up a check swing and just continue to swing for the easy ground out right there. But good piece of pitching right there by Wesley Franklin. He's doing a great job of offsetting his fastball with that changeup.
James Tibbs tied atop the RBI leaderboard in college baseball in an RBI opportunity in his first plate appearance tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike to the junior.
That's what makes this Seminole lineup so special. Is, man, every time James Tibbs gets up, I feel like he hits with runners in scoring position, but has the ability to drive him in from first too, without how much power he's shown so far this year. Seems like every year he gets better and better.
James Tibbs hitting a robust .461 against right-handed pitching this season. .468 with runners in scoring position. 2 balls, 2 strikes as the Seminoles try and strike first in this home half of the first inning. Florida State embarking on a weekend road trip up to Winston-Salem, take on a Wake Forest team that was in the College World Series last year. Tibbs out in front of it, a roller to first base, handled by Lester, 2 outs.
It's a good pitching sequence once again by Wesley Franklin. Got James Tibbs, one of the hotter bats in college baseball, out in front of that changeup, leaning out in front, slowed his bat down again. It's just very, very hard to hit a good changeup, even with these metal bats. One thing I'll tell you, you have to be able to still swing fast. You may make a mistake and get early, but you got to keep your hands back and still swing with the same kind of power you would normally swing with on a fastball.
First pitch foul ball comes off the bat of Jaime Ferrer. Another cleanup spot start for Ferrer, the starting left fielder. 310 with 11 home runs, 32 RBIs. Junior from Puerto Rico will try and cash in on that leadoff single. In the dirt. Nice block by Carter Sanford, the starting catcher.
You see Wesley Franklin with steady mix, fastball changeup, and you know, talking to Mercer's pitching coach a little bit before the game. They're really trying to build his confidence of being able to throw that changeup to right-handed batters. Said it's got a lot of potential.
In on the hands and lands in front of the netting next to the Florida State first base dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jaime Ferrer. 2 for 12 over the weekend against the Miami Hurricanes. Florida State has scored 41 runs through the first 4 games of this homestand. Ferrer into center field. On comes Tadaro to make the catch.
Just one season. You don't see turnarounds like this very often.
A preseason pick to finish 4th in the ACC's Atlantic Division. Entering play this weekend, Florida State just a game behind the Clemson Tigers for the top spot in the Atlantic. Well, Yoel Tejeda Jr. will get back to work facing Parker Lester. He follows the breaking ball with a fastball at 96 that just misses. Lester riding a 14-game hitting streak. .320 batting average, 11 doubles, 6 homers, 23 RBIs as he sends a high fly ball deep right field. This one is on its way and gone. Parker Lester emphatically stretches his hitting streak to 15 games. 7th home run of the season, and Mercer is on top in the 2nd.
Another great piece of hitting by Parker Lester. Man, he has been on fire for this Mercer Bears lineup. You see the celebration right there, and absolutely you get to celebrate. Tejada throws a decent pitch, slider down in the zone, and you see Parker Lester get his barrel underneath that ball. That was a no-doubter.
Into the circus tents out there as Noah Best tries to follow up the big fly with a bunt. Well, Mercer's 49th home run as a team, and the power surge for Parker Lester continues. Had a couple home runs over the weekend against VMI. There's a fly ball to center field. Williams drifting back. Shy of the warning track, that's the first out.
Yeah, Mercer's always had a very good, they've always had very good power numbers. Their home park is not necessarily what I would call the biggest park in college baseball, so you definitely see some power numbers coming out of Mercer's lineup. But man, you hit a ball like Parker Lester just did, it'll go out of just about any park in the country.
Carter Sanford, the catcher, is hit by a pitch. So the backstop gets drilled with 1 out in the top of the 2nd.
Tell you what, took that like a champ too, didn't even move.
Well, he's a catcher. All catchers are used to getting dinged up.
Definitely tough.
Team leading 9th hit by pitch of the season for Sanford. Mercer has 1 on with 1 out for Bradley Fry, the shortstop. And that one's to the backstop. Right, Tejeda having some command issues after allowing the home run. And the wild pitch puts Sanford at 2nd.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you know, Tejeda doesn't have a whole lot of innings under his
coach. Fry chases a slider off the outside. Junior from Marietta, Georgia, in his 2nd season at Mercer after spending his freshman year in the ACC at Georgia Tech. One of 2 Yellow Jacket transfers in the starting 9 for Mercer tonight.
Yeah, Coach Gibson really high on Fry and his abilities at shortstop. So he's really, really good defensively. Can really move her over there.
And this is low. 3 balls, 1 strike.
And this is the command issues that have kind of plagued Tejeda's season so far.
Bounced foul outside of third base. Full count.
They're definitely improving. Some command's definitely improving, but still seems to struggle with runners on base. Throwing from that stretch instead of the windup. Seems a little more comfortable in the windup.
Early inning bullpen action for the home team, and there's ball 4. And a hit by pitch followed by the walk. Second free pass issued by the big right-hander. And Mercer with some traffic on the bases with 1 down in the second for Antonio Brown. Brown hitting 9th for Mercer tonight, the senior second baseman. 94th career start and his 164th game in a Mercer uniform. Big spot early.
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to be in one of these spots early in the game because give yourself an opportunity to get out in front and give your pitcher a little bit of an edge when he gets out there.
Been a tight strike zone early from Robert Nunez. Brown hitting .239, 4 doubles, a homer, 10 RBIs. Takes ball 2. Last season was his best season at this level. Hit .288 with 6 home runs from Vernon Hills in Illinois. And that's over for a strike. Pumped it in there at 95.
Yeah, Tejeda's just really throw a strike and a ground ball, get yourself out of this inning. Limit the damage and let your team go score some runs for you. Another good fastball right there by Yoel Tejeda.
2-2 on AB. Parker Lester opened this inning with a long solo home run to right field. And after Noah Best flew out, a hit by pitch and a walk could put 2 on with 1 out. Big Yo's, 2-2. Another foul ball. This one off the facade. It'll roll back onto the playing field.
Another big fastball by Tejeda, 95, a little up in the zone. Antonio Brown not quite catching up to that high heat.
Another 2-2. Off the end of the bat, Tejeda can't get there. Lodice with the bare hand, and Brown beats him. That's a really good 2-strike pitch, and he just barely got the end of the bat on it, but Antonio Brown legs out an infield single, and now Mercer has the bases full of Bears with Jackson Cherry coming up.
Yeah, really another great pitch, a 2-2 slider, down and away. That ball was just spinning off the end of the bat. Another cue ball type situation for the, still a really good play by Lodice, who threw that ball well. Just
last season at the State College of Florida, where he was a junior college All-American. Jackson Cherry waves and misses at the first one from the southpaw. Cherry's second plate appearance tonight, lined out sharply to Daniel Cantu down at first base to open the game.
It's that big sweeping slider from Holtz. You see it right there again, comes right back to it. And that's one of those pitches, man. If you can work ahead and you can throw that first strike, you just keep pounding it, because your goal here is, even if Jackson Cherry hits this ball, you're hoping your defense turns a double play for you and gets you out of this inning without another run scoring.
Cherry stays alive. Left-handed batter is just 2 for 13 this season against Connor Holtz. I think Jarrett wanted the high percentage matchup here with the bases loaded and 1 out. Brandon Prince, a right-handed hitter, waits on deck. Another 2-strike pitch. Late appeal down to third base. No swing, says Kevin Bradley down there.
See another good breaking ball by Holtz, trying to keep it down in the zone. You're trying to induce a ground ball right here. If you do get a swing and miss, great. But the goal here is the double play. You're trying to get a ground ball to get these 2 outs.
There's the 1-2. Into the Florida State dugout. Oh, Jackson Cherry, redshirt junior from Forest, Virginia, all-conference second-teamer last year. He had .339 with 12 homers and landed on the preseason all-conference first team this year. He homered here in Tallahassee when Mercer visited last season. It's outside, 2-2. Bears were here for a non-conference 3-game set in early May last year. Florida State swept them.
Jackson Cherry really leading this offense in power numbers with his home runs, doubles.
Strikes out swinging. Connor Holtz does a nice job to get Cherry. Bases still loaded, now 2 outs.
Connor Holtz right back to that breaking ball, keeps him off balance. I think Cherry wanted it to be a fastball after seeing that last pitch and just chases that ball down in the zone. And again, that's one of those best case scenarios. You see a great job by Jackson West right there to block that ball up, keep it in front of him, working extra hard with a runner on third base. Great sequence of pitches from Connor Holtz.
Just off the inside to Brandon Prince. Prince .364 this year with the bases loaded. Another big sweeping breaking ball gets a swing and a miss for Connor Holtz.
Yeah, Holtz has the ability to run that fastball up to about 90 miles an hour, but that long sweeping curveball is only about 75, 78. So you really got to sit back on it. And he has the ability to locate it at any time. You see right there, just backdoor, comes in for a strike, but he does a great job of keeping that ball down in the zone, which makes him super effective.
1 ball, 2 strikes on the Georgia Tech transfer. Able to lay off that breaking ball, blocked by Jackson West. Prince in the midst of an 8-game hitting streak. He is a graduate transfer from Georgia Tech, where he spent the last 2 seasons. Only registered 31 at-bats in a yellow jacket uniform. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Connor Holt. 18 pitches to escape a leadoff single and keep the Seminoles scoreless in the first inning. And faces Jackson West to open the Seminole half of the second.
Yeah, you saw Mercer's approach changed a little bit the second time they saw Tejeda. He was getting a steady stream of fastballs and sliders, so they were able to kind of sit down the slider and slider counts. And we'll see if Florida State makes that adjustment this inning, because Wesley Franklin did about the same thing with his fastball and his changeup. He was pretty good at mixing those 2 pitches up in the first inning.
West, a first-year Seminole, transfer from Alabama. Tallahassee native back home. Bouncing ball towards the middle, through into center field. And for the second straight inning, Florida State opens it up with a base hit.
Yeah, another really good piece of hitting right there by Jackson West. Man, he's really doing a great job of taking advantage of his opportunities when he gets a chance to come in and catch. But his hitting's just been on fire this year. See right there, not trying to do too much. Gets a changeup down in the zone, sticks the barrel out, shoots it up the middle for a hit. And I'll tell you what, when your leadoff batter gets on base, the percentages of scoring go up pretty good.
Seminoles got their leadoff man Max Williams all the way to third base. Could not get him in last inning. Marco Dinges, the designated hitter.
Tell you what, this is a guy I love to watch hit, man. He does not take swings off. When he swings the bat, it is hard hit.
Well, that one was hit softly. 6-4-3. Mercer turns a double play. Almost saw that happen last inning, but when Cam Smith was up and rolled one to short, they put Williams in motion to break up the ground ball double play.
This one in on the hands of Dinges and just right at the shortstop. They do a great job of turning that quick double play and getting a quick 2 outs. Those took the words out of mine. Said the leadoff hitter tends to score a high percentage of time, but not when you get a double play.
2 outs now with the bases empty for Daniel Cantu, the first baseman. Another transfer portal addition for Link Jarrett in the offseason. Spent the last 4 years at South Florida. Jacksonville native, now finishing off a terrific college career at Florida State. 28 career home runs.
Yeah, Cantu, a big-time power guy. You see him, he's just got a presence in the box. Real relaxed, good left-handed bat.
Cantu couldn't catch up to the outside corner fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Wesley Franklin running that one up to 93.
Two and 2 on Cantu. And 3 hits over the weekend against Miami. That was a Thursday through Saturday series between the Hurricanes and the Seminoles. Florida State 12-0 this year against in-state competition. Line drive, and it hangs up for Antonio Brown. Second baseman facing Connor Holtz. Boy, what a job he did in the second. Came in with the bases loaded, 1 out, got strikeouts against the top 2 hitters in the Bears batting order and kept the deficit at 1-0.
Starting off here with Ty Daly, who, tell you what, he's been red hot as of late.
And worked to walk his only time up. Hit a grand slam on Sunday. Waves and misses at the breaking ball from Holtz. We've seen a lot of that since his entrance into this game.
Yeah, he's had just a phenomenal breaking ball so far today. And I'll tell you what, I don't know how lefties even have a hit off of him. That ball's starting out behind the lefties.
That breaking ball sweeps off the outside. Daly followed by Tadaro and Lester. This is 3, 4, 5 for Mercer. 5 and 7 on the road this season. See you later. Holtz has faced 3 batters. This has been the result each time.
Yeah, that curveball is just something else, especially when he's facing lefties. I mean, he like I said earlier, this ball's starting out what looks like behind him, and it's coming back all the way across the plate. So if it looks like it's like a strike to begin with, it's probably going to fall off the plate for a ball. And if it looks like a ball that's going to go behind you, it ends up being a strike, and that just makes hitting impossible.
This is the cleanup hitter Connor Tadaro. He flew out to right field back in the first inning. Senior from Powder Springs in Georgia. A second-year Bear after 2 years in junior college at Georgia Highlands. That's over the inside.
Leading this Bear offense and hitting. He's been very, very consistent for them since he's been in this lineup.
He was one of the more improved players on the roster. Just 2 hits and 21 at-bats last year. Swing and a miss. A whole lot of that for Connor Holtz. 4 batters, 4 strikeouts, and all of them swinging.
All of them. And you see it again, that big curveball, man. Oh, my goodness. And that ball just started up in the zone and falls off the table. I don't even think the Mercer hitters are taking bad swings. They're just not able to get anywhere close to that pitch. That just tells you how special Connor Holtz's curveball really is.
Now he faces Parker Lester, who's responsible for all of the offense through the early innings. Launched a solo home run against the Florida State starter Yoel Tejeda last inning. His 7th of the season, extending his hitting streak to 15 games. 2-0.
Yeah, Parker Lester, during his 15-game hitting streak now, he's got 4 homers, several doubles, 12 RBIs now. He's just adding to a very potent Mercer offense.
3 balls, no strikes. Noah Best would be next. Lester spent the last 2 years in the Mid-American Conference at Miami of Ohio. One of 14 transfers on this 2024 Mercer squad. 18-16 overall, but just 3-6 first 3 series of the SoCon season. That is over the inside edge.
That tells you how confident Carter Holtz is in his curveball. 3-0. Let me just loop one in there.
22 returners, 24 newcomers. 33-win team last year. Breaking ball hit the other way, slicing away from Jaime Ferrer. It's off the base of the wall. Well, Parker Lester parked a solo home run beyond the right field wall his first time. Now goes the wrong way with a 2-out double in the third.
Another really good piece of it. And anything you know, Connor Holtz hadn't been behind many batters, but he falls behind Parker Lester right there, and Parker Lester sits on that 3-1 breaking ball and does exactly what you're supposed to do. You stay, you let that ball travel, and you drive it the other way. And drive it he did. That ball carried all the way to the fence, hit the base of the wall, and stopped. But a home run and a double for Parker Lester.
Lester now tied atop the Southern Conference in 2-baggers as Best chases the first pitch breaking ball. The first contact that Mercer's had against Connor Holtz, who had struck out the first 4 hitters he faced. It's 340 to the left field foul pole here. That was a very impressive opposite field swing.
Line drive too. Very good piece of hitting.
Best flew out to medium center field his first time. 0-2.
And Connor Holtz working right back ahead of the batter. So you see, the only, you know, pitchers got to work ahead, right? They got to work ahead with the batters. They got to throw strikes early in the count. It just makes hitting so tough, and it makes it easier for you to use whatever pitch is in your arsenal to get these guys out. But
puts him away. That foul tipped into the glove of Jackson West, and Holtz strikes out. Florida State wrapping up a 5-game homestand, trailing Mercer 1-0 to the home half of the third. Drew Farreau faces Wesley Franklin, who's done a nice job to stymie the Seminole bats in his first 2 frames. Farreau, the second baseman for Florida State, hitting .311 in his first season with the Seminoles. Team leader with 15 doubles, 4 homers, 19 batted in.
Yeah, and Florida State's only switch hitter, Drew Farreau. So
an All-American last season at UCF. He's a Tallahassee native back at home with hits in 5 of his last 6 games. Seminoles have had a leadoff base runner in each of the first 2 innings, but haven't been able to cash in.
Yeah, both of their hits, leadoff singles for the inning, and immediately next batter grounding the ball to shortstop. So tell you what, got to give Wesley Franklin a tip of the cap. He's been really, really good at keeping these hitters off balance.
That smoked and through the wickets of Fry, the shortstop, into center field. They'll give him a base hit. And so 3 straight innings, Florida State has had a leadoff base runner.
I'll tell you what, that ball's hit 107 miles an hour off the bat. That was just hot and too hot to handle. You watch this ball off of the bat of Drew Farreau. It's hit so hard, I don't think Fry had a chance to even get his glove down. That ball's 107 off the bat. And once again, Florida State has a leadoff runner on base.
Alex Lodis takes a strike as Farreau tries to snag second, and he does. Well, Drew Farreau now 7 for 7 in stolen base attempts. And the Seminoles make sure that leadoff base runner gets to second base before an out's recorded here in the third.
Drew Farreau following in the footsteps of his dad, who played here. Also a very, very potent base runner, very fast. You see Drew making a little move like he might have wanted to steal third right there too.
0-2 on the shortstop Lodis. Florida State, how about their efficiency in stealing bases? Now 41 stolen bags as a team. They've only attempted 45 stolen bases.
And I'll tell you what, base running is one of those parts of the baseball game that seems to get overlooked so much. And I'll tell you what, that has been one of the most drastic improvements Florida State's made. And you look at the offense, you look at the pitching and the defense, everything's really gotten better. But the base running just jumps off the page at you.
Well, Farreau had taken off to third base on that 2-strike delivery. Lodis, another first-year Seminole, transfer from North Florida, where he was a freshman All-American last year. At 306 with 16 homers and 63 batted in his first college season. 2 balls, 2 strikes. After Lodis, back to the top of the order, Max Williams waits on deck for the Seminoles.
Yeah, Lodis has that ability to put the ball out of any part of this ballpark. He's got a lot of power in that small frame.
And he homered here last Tuesday in the rivalry win over Florida. Oh my! I don't know where he was trying to throw that thing. It winds up in right center field, and Farrow's at third with nobody out. Whoops.
Yeah, Wesley Franklin turned to pick Drew Farrow off, trying to keep him close to the bat, which you have to do, but nobody was at second base, and I don't know if he just couldn't hold on to the ball. I guess he saw nobody there and let that ball just slip out of his hands, but now you got a runner on third with nobody out. And this is the kind of situation that you have to produce a run in. You have to produce this run if you're Florida State. Tie up the ball game. So watch Lodis battle this at bat. He's going to battle through this and make sure he puts a ball in play to get Drew Farrow in.
Infield at normal depth. They will trade the out for the run. Another foul ball comes off the bat of Lodis.
You got to have a good 2-strike approach. You got to expand your zone a little bit. Try to keep making contact. Try to keep fighting. And anytime you get a runner on third base, it gets, to me, it just felt a little easier as a hitter. You know, you can kind of, because your goal here is just to drive a baseball. You know, if you hit a hard fly ball into the outfield, you get a run. You hit a hard ground ball up the middle, you get a run.
Lodis hitting .312 with men in scoring position this season, and fouls back the 3-2.
Lodis fouling these balls off, working the count. This is the kind of at bat you'd love to see from your 9-hole hitter, man. Just no outs. You got to roll the lineup, find a way on a bag, fight through this at bat, find a way on a bag. If you can get the run in, great, but find your way on that base path.
On the 10th pitch, deep left field. Prince, it's over his head. A one-hopper up against the wall. And Lodis on a run-scoring double has tied the game at 1 in the third. 6th double, 26th RBI.
I'll tell you what, that ball was just up in the zone. Way to fight through it at bat. Way to get your pitch. And again, like I said, you're looking for a pitch you can drive, and drive it he did. Alex Lodis, 108 miles an hour off the bat. 2 of the hardest hit balls we've seen in all day have been back-to-back from Drew Farrow and Alex Lodis, who hit 8th and 9th in this Florida State lineup.
Yeah, there are no soft spots in the starting 9 for the Seminoles. Now Williams rolls a base hit to right center. Here comes Lodis, and the Seminoles have a 2-1 lead. 3 straight hits open up the home.
Moving around these days. Coach Gibson's been a staple at Mercer, 20 years, and has done a great job with recruiting, done a great job hiring coaches, and done a phenomenal job coaching some of these kids up, man. He's done amazing things there.
This is Cam Smith for Florida State, and takes a fastball on the outside for a called strike. Smith rolled out to shortstop his only time, trying to extend his on-base streak, which currently sits at 45 games. Bouncer towards the middle. Fry has it. Glove flip to second, and razzle-dazzle goes Mercer for a 6-4-3 double play.
That was a really cool play the second baseman made right there, man. I'm sorry, the shortstop. Fry gets the ball up the middle. Cam Smith hits a pretty good ball up the middle. Fry glove flips to the second baseman for a quick out, and they were able to turn the double play on Cam Smith, who's been really fast this year with his running. So Mercer quickly out of it. Three straight hits and then double play. That's a pitcher's best friend right there.
Second double play turned by the Mercer infield tonight. A 0-1 to Tibbs. And it's 0-2. James Tibbs rolled over to first base his first time tonight. 58 RBIs, tied for tops in America. Also top 10 in batting average. draft eligible this summer, and that stock continues to rise.
Yeah, James Tibbs, he has just turned himself into a great hitter each and every year. You see right there, fastball sneaks by him for the strikeout. Great job of hiding the ball. He comes out of his glove late, so lefties tend to struggle against him. Well, I say that. The first pitch is an absolute rocket to center field.
That's Carter Sanford, the catcher, who saw only one pitch his first time up and was plunked. And Sanford opens the Mercer half of the fourth with a base hit.
Yeah, but Hudson Rowan has been very, very good out of the pen for this Seminole team. He's got a low 90s fastball. He's got a good curveball that he can keep down in the zone. The thing that's got him a little bit in the past has been the amount of walks he gives up. You don't ever mind 6 hits over 11 innings, but 15 walks in 11 innings is tough.
Bradley Fry bunts it foul.
But he's also a high strikeout guy, so you know that ability is there. It's just trying to get over those freshman hurdles, I think, to limit those walks.
Rowan from nearby Panama City, about 80 miles from Tallahassee. Graduate of Mosley High School. That's a base hit to left field. And Mercer comes roaring back with consecutive singles to open the fourth. Bradley Fry has been on twice. Put 2 on with nobody out for Antonio Brown. And out of the 9th spot here, Florida State's infield defense may be thinking sacrifice bunt.
Yeah, I think so. You got a 1-run ball game. It's still early, but anytime you can move these runners over and up your chances of getting a run, getting a run back and possibly the lead, you got to take that opportunity, especially with your 9-hole hitter Antonio Brown, whose infield singles last at bat showed that he has some speed, has the ability.
Corners playing in for Florida State. And Brown squares, pulls back, takes a high strike.
Yeah, Hudson Rowan, 2 quick hits off of him, but hadn't thrown a ball, and that's what you're looking for. The last couple outings has lost a little bit of his command. He's throwing a lot of strikes now, though. You'll give up a hit or two to see him throwing strikes. You see Cam Smith playing that corner. He's kind of angled. I always loved that at Florida State. He's kind of angled where he can see the base runner and the hitter at the same time.
1 ball, 1 strike.
What you want to do there as a third baseman is you want to make sure the base runner's not stealing, because you don't want to vacate the position and give away third base. Now, if he does vacate the position, you'll see the shortstop run as fast as he can over to third base. It's one of those unique plays.
It's a breaking ball that misses low. 2-1 on Antonio Brown after Sanford and Fry opened the fourth with consecutive singles. And after Brown, back to the top of the order, Jackson Cherry's on deck. Good. 3-1. You mentioned some of the command issues for Rowan. 15 free passes in 11 innings.
You see right there, it's not like he's missing by much, but I'll tell you what, man, this is the pressure that a team like Mercer will put on you. You put some runners on base, and it's a lot tougher to pitch.
That is ball 4. So every single pitch of that plate appearance, Brown squared to bunt and pulled back. He reaches for a second time tonight. And the bottom third of the order loads the bases with nobody out in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, and you got your leadoff hitter in Jackson Cherry, who's also your best power hitter in the lineup.
A pair of righties, Abraham and Charles, starting to heat up in the home bullpen. Hudson Rowan already the 3rd pitcher that Florida State has used tonight.
See,
lead. See if this Mercer offense can respond. There's a called strike.
Let's see, Rowan. I'm betting Jackson West came over and told him, hey, man, we got this guy out on 3 really good curveballs last time. If you can keep it down in the zone, we're going to be in good shape. You see it again right there. getting his young pitcher to gain a little confidence.
He is way ahead of Jackson Cherry. Up the middle, base hit center field. Sanford scores. Fry is right behind him. And Mercer quickly reclaims the lead in the fourth. A two-run single off the bat of Jackson Cherry.
Saw 2 curveballs in a row. Throws him a third one. Good pitch, down and away. But Jackson Cherry, being the mature hitter he is, man, sticks the barrel out, shoots that ball up the middle. And Jackson Cherry is going to end the night, I think, for Hudson Rowan.
He's a Mercer lifer. He was a first baseman with the Bears in the mid-'80s. Year after he was done playing, he joined the coaching staff before he was elevated to lead the program. And you spent a season playing for.
I did. I was there for
Coach Gibson.
Coach Gibby's second year. He was, you know, sat with me and my folks in the Holiday Inn conference room, and when I was being recruited by him, he's a great man, great coach. You see, he's done some big time things there. He's got in 20 seasons almost a 600 winning percentage. Has had 30 guys get drafted, 9 All-Americans, including a Golden Spikes Award winner a few years ago. You said it right there, four regional appearances, and I'm sure there's many more to come for Coach Gibson.
Well, Brandon Prince, 2 on, already 2 in, still nobody out, and he bunts that one foul. Joe Charles pitched a couple of times over the weekend against the Miami Hurricanes. A 3-game sweep for Florida State to improve to 10-5 in the ACC. Just a game behind Clemson in the Atlantic Division. Bunt sign off here, and the 1-2 pitch driven in the air down the left field line and off the base of the wall. Brown scores. Cherry held at third on a Brandon Prince RBI double.
I'm telling you, man, there's really no spots off in this Mercer lineup. They can bang the ball around, and then you see it right there. Another double off the left field wall, and Brandon Prince gets a 2-strike, just a great 2-strike swing. I think Joe Charles is a little off-speed pitch, caught a little too much plate, and RBI double for the 2-hole hitter there.
3 runs across as that one comes right back to Charles. He throws wildly to first. Cantu's able to handle it. A big first out to get Ty Daly and keep those base runners put.
Absolutely. Just that's about as big a play as Florida State could hope for right there. 2 runners in scoring position, nobody out, and a comebacker to the pitcher. Joe Charles, a little amped up, looks the runner back to third and throws the ball, and thank goodness for the big, tall Daniel Cantu over there.
3 runs in the inning. All right, second and third with 1 down for Tadaro, the cleanup hitter. Got tied up on that swing. Mercer's center fielder's gone hitless in 2 at-bats tonight. Already the 3rd different pitcher he's faced. Falls behind 0-2. Tadaro hitting .464 this year with runners in scoring position. He often comes through in these spots.
Well, tell you what, man, you know, when you're hitting as a runner or as a hitter with runners in scoring position, you tend to see a lot more strikes. You definitely don't want to throw too far outside the zone and throw a wild pitch or give a guy a chance to advance. So you got to throw strikes, and tell you what, Tadaro must know exactly what he's looking for, because that's a heck of a batting average.
There's strike 3 swinging. Joe Charles, after giving up that RBI double to Brandon Prince, gets Daly on a bouncer back to the mound, and now strikes out Tadaro.
Looked like either a really good changeup or a hard slider down, but either way, keeps Tadaro off balance, gets him out on the front foot, and big swing and miss right there.
Not a bad idea to pass on Parker Lester with the open base at first. He has homered and doubled tonight and hit safely in 15 straight. Seminoles will take their chances with Noah Best, who's gone hitless in 2 at-bats tonight.
Tell you what, Coach Link Jarrett playing the numbers right there, playing them wisely too. You got an open base with 2 runners on in scoring position, and easily one of the better hitters in the country at the moment coming up, and go ahead and give him a free pass. That's a smart play by Coach Jarrett.
This is already the 4th at bat for Mercer tonight with the bases juiced. A high pop up. Foul territory. Smith going after it. And it drifts out of play.
Just getting out of play there.
Another big crowd on hand. We mentioned the 3-game series attendance record here over the weekend when Miami was in town. 19,157 in for the 3-game set against the Hurricanes, breaking the previous high of 19,062 back in 2008. There's a lot of buzz around this program. Sitting at 30-5. In tight.
2008 was a pretty special year. It was that was the year Buster Posey went off and won the Golden Spikes Award. Tell you what, that's a pretty impressive record to break if you're beating the crowd that's coming to watch Buster Posey play.
Another high pop up down the left field side, chasing Ferrer into the corner, and goodbye. My goodness, more than a pop-up. It's a grand slam. Oh, the ball is flying at Dick Hauser tonight.
I'll tell you what, Noah Best, man, shoots this ball, barrels this ball up, and it looked like a big league fly ball to left to me, but you're right, that ball carried and carried and carried and carried right into the Mercer bullpen for a grand slam. You see it right here, ball's up in the zone.
So much for a pop-up. What do I know?
Yeah, that ball just kept and carried, man. That ball's probably in the air for 20 seconds. But my goodness, the ball did carry out of here. And that Mercer lineup continues to bang the ball around.
A 7-run inning for Mercer. Now a towering fly ball off the bat of Carter Sanford. The ballpark will hold this one. And Williams makes the catch.
Some hitters today. I think he can run the ball up there to the low 90s. See him starting off with a little changeup right there to Jaime Ferrer, though.
Middle of the Florida State batting order scheduled. Ferrer, West, and Dingus. Ferrer lined out to center field back in the first inning against the right-hander Franklin. Florida State hitting .343 against left-handed pitching this year. Off the end of the bat, rolling softly out towards Antonio Brown. 1 away.
Yeah, working right ahead of Jaime Ferrer right there was great pitching right there by Ackerman. Started him off with off speed, coming with the fastball, getting Jaime confident, and then coming right back with another changeup. And Jaime just out off the front leg, off the end of the bat. Can't do much with that pitch. Good piece of work right there by Jess Ackerman.
Jackson West, the catcher, takes a called strike. West has done a nice job against Southpaws this season. 7 hits and 21 at-bats. Good for a .333 average. He singled his first time back in the second. Florida State 2 runs on 5 hits. Scored both runs last time up in the home half of the third. Now 7 runs, quite a shock to a lot of fans here at Dick Hauser and probably for some of the Seminoles. But if there's an offense capable of erasing this type of deficit, it's these guys in the garnet and gold.
Absolutely. Florida State has been able to put up a 7 spot themselves at times, but I don't know that they've given one up. And I'll tell you what, man, you spend, last inning, third inning, you score a couple runs, you get up, you got to shut down. You have to have a shutdown inning right there. You know what I mean? But again, this Mercer lineup is just potent.
Florida State is 61-10 all time against Mercer. Brandon Reichert Bowl's been happening for a while between these two programs, separated by fewer than 200 miles as West strikes out. Is that okay if we tab this the Brandon Reichert Bowl?
The bowl?
How many players in the history of these programs have played for each other?
Played for both of them?
Yeah.
I don't know. What's real funny, and you know, my assistant coach and the guy that recruited me hard at Mercer is now the Florida State head coach, Link Jarrett. The baseball community gets small,
especially down in this region. Marco Dingus with 2 outs. Florida State DH rolled into a 6-4-3 double play. One of 2 double plays turned by the Mercer infield tonight. 1-2.
See that big swing by Dingus, man. He's just a guy that can, he just loves to get up there and swing. Has the ability, has a really good eye too, has the ability to walk a little bit, but man, when he does swing, he swings hard.
There's a 2-2. Swing and a miss. Shutdown inning. The Mercer Bears 18-16 on the season. Only their second Power 5, second ACC opponent. Played a few Power 5 teams this year, including a series at Oklahoma State. They lost their first ACC game last month at home against Georgia Tech, but they've scored 8 runs through 4 innings here against the 8th-ranked Seminoles, highlighted by a 7-run frame in the top of the 4th. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bradley Fry, who's been on twice with a walk and a single.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, that's you can never sleep on a midweek opponent. And I'll tell you what, Florida State last week was lights out against Florida, Miami, 2 big opponents, big-time rivals, and had a 4-0 week, and probably just, you know, you ride that adrenaline until it quits you, and then this is one of those where you're seeing the Seminoles make a few mistakes against a team that probably shouldn't beat them, but baseball's baseball, man. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day, and Mercer able to put 7 runs up last inning, putting the Seminoles in the hole a little bit.
It's off the end of the bat, right back to Charles. And it's a much better start to this frame for Florida State. Charles was charged with 3 of the runs last inning. Hudson Rowan was charged with the other 4. Came off the heels of a really impressive outing, inning and 2/3 put together by Connor Holtz. You thought maybe the rest of the pitching staff could piggyback off of that,
right.
But Mercer bats had other ideas.
Yeah, you were trying to ride that momentum. I'll tell you what, Holtz's off-speed stuff was otherworldly today, and the bats, man, the bats in this Mercer lineup are tough, man. They're able to hit the fastball. They're able to sit back on the off-speed stuff if you leave it up in the zone, and that's what Rowan did, and Charles made a couple mistakes. You see him working out of it a little bit here, though.
Antonio Brown hits it through the right side, out of the 9th spot in the batting order. He's been on 3 times, his second hit.
Mercer already batted 3 times through the lineup. We're only 1 out into the 5th. That tells you how hot these bats have been. Already 9 hits through 4 1/3. And a lot of production coming from every part of this lineup.
Back to the top of the order, Jackson Cherry, the designated hitter, steps into the batter's box for a 4th time already tonight. 1 for 3 with a 2-run single in that 7-run 4th. Knocked in his 30th and 31st runs of the season. Team leader in home runs, hitting out of the leadoff spot for the Bears, and it's good for 4th best in the SoCon. Samford, the preseason favorite this year in the Southern Conference, off to an 8-1 start through 3 weekends of conference play. Good program up in Alabama.
See, I'll tell you what, Jackson Cherry's taken some impressive swings this at bat. Joe Charles with a quick move right there. That play was a little closer than I expected it to be.
And Antonio Brown leads the team with 7 stolen bases. 7 of the 28 for Mercer as a team this year. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Joe Charles. 2 down.
Good off-speed pitch down in the zone. Jackson Cherry sitting dead red fastball. Man, he was trying to do some big damage right there, but Joe Charles able to kind of pull the string on him and make him miss by a lot.
Brown goes, and that's start.
It was hard not to believe he was going to pull it out, man. He is just a quiet killer on that golf course, man.
They put the green jacket last year on Rahm, and then Rahm put it on him this year. Maybe they'll trade again next year.
I'll tell you what, it's 2 of the best at it.
Or maybe
it wouldn't surprise me.
Daniel Cantu steps away from baseball, we'll see him in Augusta.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if he can, if you're good at putting on glass, you'll probably succeed at Augusta.
Cantu rips it foul. Facing Jess Ackerman. Came on last inning, set down the side in order, picked up a couple of strikeouts. Cantu, Farrow, and Lodies. 7, 8, 9 will try and provide a spark for the Seminoles, trailing by 6 runs at home.
And outside of Cantu, who lined out his first at bat, the bottom of the lineup has really been productive for the Seminoles so far.
Tradition here at Florida State is they sing "O Canada."
That's right.
Always in
the middle of the game. Every time.
Loud and proud. High fly ball, right field. Goodbye.
And that, my friends, why it's a tradition. Great 2-strike swing from Daniel Cantu, who lifts the ball with all that power over the right field wall here at Dick Howser Stadium. And that'll put a smile on everybody's face who was singing "O Canada," I'll tell you that.
His 4th home run of the year and 29th of his college career. This was a no-doubter.
Yeah, just a curveball left up in the zone, hanging up there for Daniel Cantu, who just missed the pitch before by hitting a line drive down the line, but just foul. And man, jumps all over that pitch for a long home run.
Now bouncer off the bat of Farrow, and Fry throws him out.
You see Drew Farrow turn around batting from the right side that time, facing the lefty, and you know, you try to, as a hitter, you try to follow up a big play with another big swing, right? Or a big swing with another big swing. Cantu hitting the homer. Drew trying to jump on that first pitch. Unfortunately, just out in front of it.
Here's Alex Lodies, who doubled home run his only time. "11 straight games where the Seminoles have gone deep. Hit home runs in 32 of their 36 games this season, and that was their 68th of the year as a team. Trying to keep that team OPS north of 1,000.
Alex Lodies, who hit a ball 108 miles per hour off his bat last time. Struggling to see the ball this at bat.
Swing and a miss. Third strikeout for Jess Ackerman.
Jess Ackerman not throwing his best stuff up there to Alex Lodies, but Alex Lodies chasing hard on those fastballs down and away.
Here comes Max Williams, who's got a pair of singles, including an RBI. His first 2 at-bats against the starter Wesley Franklin. Senior right-hander went 3 innings. Ackerman has eaten up an inning and 2/3. Williams off the lower body of Ackerman. It ricochets to Sanford, and he airmails it down the right field line. Williams has his sights set on third, and he's in there.
You talk about hard hit balls by these Seminoles, man. You know, they're down 8-3 at the moment with some hard outs, man. That ball right there, not an out, but 108 miles an hour off the bat, directly back at the pitcher, Jess Ackerman. This ball squares him up enough to bounce back to the catcher and really give him a play. But with the speed of Max Williams, I think he was safe all the way, but the airmail gets him all the way to third base. That's just a hustle play by Max Williams after a very hard hit ball, his third hard hit ball of the day.
Yeah, he's 3 for 3 and turned on the Jets.
A little bit bigger role as a pitcher in this out of the bullpen. He's really coming into his own and starting to compete a little bit.
The Seminoles have already struck for one. Trailing 8-3. They'd like to add on with Cam Smith up there.
Anytime you see a sidearm guy as a right-handed hitter, you got to let the ball travel. You got to be shooting. Your goal here is to shoot this ball over the first baseman's head. Anything you get out in front of before that, you may shoot it up the middle, but if your goal is to shoot it down that right field line as a right-handed hitter off this guy, you're going to have a lot more success. These guys tend to induce a lot of ground balls when you throw from that arm angle.
Dots the outside edge. 2-2 on Smith, who's hitless in 2 at-bats tonight. Rolled into a 6-4-3 double play ball his last time in the third. There's a 2-2. Did everything he could to hold back from that pitch. And a sweeper winds up in the opposite batter's box. Counts full with James Tibbs on deck. Pick your poison.
That's been the difference between Cam Smith this year and last year's his ability to hit with 2 strikes and his ability to take that pitch this year. He was a big swinger at that off speed and off the plate last year with 2 strikes, and he's really turned it around. His eyes gotten better, his approach has gotten better, and you see it in his numbers.
Full count pitch. Way outside. That will stretch the on-base streak for Cam Smith to 46 games. Yeah, the Seminoles have him at the corners with 2 outs for the dangerous James Tibbs. 15th longest stretch.
Tell you what, man.
Program history.
Yeah, this is incredible, man. Just he's been on base every single game this year, spanning back to last year, and you really don't see an end in sight for how good his eyes really just changed his game year to year. It's been incredible.
Tibbs tied for the national lead in RBIs coming into the night. Has grounded out and struck out.
You talk about one of the better hitters in baseball right now. It's James Tibbs, man. He's what makes him so effective is his ability to only swing at strikes, man. He does not swing at anything outside of the zone. He's as powerful a hitter as he is. He also leads this Florida State team in base on balls.
A hitter-friendly count at 2-0. Into the overshift. Down to a slide goes Antonio Brown and throws out Tibbs to end the inning.
Tells you what kind of coach Link Jarrett really is. Brady Loutko's been impressive.
He faces Ty Daly for Mercer. And a first pitch swing. Bouncer to Lodis. 1 pitch, 1 away.
That's one of those things that makes Loud so effective, man. He's a big strikeout guy, throws the ball hard, he's got good movement, able to locate, but you know that fastball looks so hittable coming from a left-handed pitcher that it almost looks flat, but it's really a heavy ball. So it makes it harder for guys to get under it and makes the guys ground out a lot more.
Ball 1 to the cleanup hitter Connor Tadaro, who's gone hitless in 3 at-bats. A couple of strikeouts tonight. Nice catch made down there, and that's why some fans bring the leather in attendance. You never know when. Now he's shotgunning.
I think he spilled his beer and a little bit trying to get to that baseball, but man, what a play. What a play.
He just flipped it up to some kids. a good Samaritan in attendance tonight. That's foul tipped.
Tell you what, man, you make a Knoll fan for life when you go home with a foul ball or a home run ball. There's another one sent over that way. You see some.
Same section.
That one hits bleacher, so you don't hear the fans getting quite as wild.
Just got to find it.
Oh, it's under there somewhere.
Mercer 8 runs through the first 5 innings, highlighted by a 7-run frame back in the top of the 4th. There's a fly ball to deep right center field. Williams on the move, and it's off the wall. Tadaro's first hit tonight, and he hot foots it to second with a 1-out double.
Good 2-strike piece of hitting by the cleanup hitter Tadaro. This ball didn't seem almost a little bit off the hands even. It shows you how powerful he is. I don't think he got that off the barrel quite as much as he could have, but able to drive that ball off the tall chain link fence over there in right center field. And Max Williams looked like he had a bead on it, just ran out of room.
The ball has been flying at Dick Hauser tonight. 3 home runs between the two teams. Mercer has 10 hits. 5 of them for extra bases. Parker Lester has 2 of those. A solo home run that opened the scoring back in the 2nd. He doubled in the 3rd, was intentionally passed in the 4th. And remember, that intentional walk was right in front of Noah Best, who then hit a grand slam.
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't want to make a mistake to anybody in the middle of this lineup at this time. See Parker Lester taking some good swings, but struggling to find the middle of the ball off Brady Lauk, and that just shows you how good Brady Lauk is, man. It's one of those balls as a hitter, it just looks so hittable, but it's always, you're just always off of it for some reason.
There's a base hit the other way. A 3-hit night for Parker Lester, and the Bears have him at the corners with 1 down in the 6th.
Another really good piece of hitting, a 2-strike approach right there from your hot hitting Parker Lester, who's again been on base all 4 times tonight. That was his 3rd hit. He now has a home run, a double, and a single. And I'm looking at the scoreboard. There's a lot of baseball left, so maybe getting another at bat or 2, and we'll see if he can complete. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it. Am I supposed to say it?
It's not a no-hitter.
All right, yeah, I can say it. He's a triple away from the cycle, guys.
Noah Best did a grand slam his last time. Pulls back the bunt attempt, takes a called strike. The grand slam for Best, just his 4th home run of the year, brings him up to 23 RBIs. Grand slams in back-to-back games for Mercer. Ty Daly hit one on Sunday.
And you see Best showing bunt. He's trying to tell the umpire, hit him in the arm right there, but
pitch temperatures in the mid-70s now, and it's kind of what we figured. Replay review showed that he did pull the bunt attempt back in time. There was no question as to if that bat head was maybe across the front of home plate, and it clipped him.
Yep.
And so Mercer has loaded the bases again on a night where the Bears have a 2-run single and a grand slam with the bases loaded. They
Absolutely.
load him up again with 1 down for Carter Sanford, who's been one of their hottest hitters. 9 hits across his last 5 games. Had 6 hits and 3 RBIs over the weekend against VMI. Brady Lauk frustrated. I think Jarrett is frustrated too, and he's going right to the second base umpire, Danny Everett, who
had some words right there with Brady Lauk. I'm not 100% sure why or what it was about, but little stern, harsh words with Brady Lauk there. And Coach Link Jarrett didn't like any part of it.
And you know Link's going to stand up for his guys.
That's what makes him a great coach right there, I'll tell you what.
And maybe this is what Florida State needs tonight to ignite the offense, trailing by a handful of runs in the 6th inning. There's been a lot of frustration in that first base dugout tonight. Jarrett said his piece. Danny Everett is no longer a fan favorite here in Tallahassee.
That is for sure. I hope he doesn't have any close plays coming up, because these fans will let him hear about it.
All right, so after a lengthy review, they overturn the call on the field. Bases loaded. Carter Sanford into center field. Williams drifting back, makes the catch. Tadaro tags. It's 9-3. Sanford knocks in his 17th run of the season on a sac fly.
Yeah, good approach by Sanford, man. Like, after a long delay like that, you know, your pitcher's likely going to come out and just try to bury a fastball down the middle to get you out, you know, just to get a strike and work ahead. And Carter Sanford, just being the mature hitter that he is, man, he jumped all.
Rowan, Charles, Lauk, and now short.
You see Noah Short coming from that low angle as well. He's going to have that ball that hopefully sinks down in the zone. That's where he lives, man. If he can keep it down in the zone, he's one of those guys that gets a lot of ground balls. So
breaking ball just off the outside.
See Jackson West back there trying to get his pitcher a call, frame it up on the outside.
Well, how about Mercer in these spots tonight? 5 for 10 with men in scoring position. Their first run here in the 6th since that 7-run 4th. Bradley Fry out of the 8th spot in the order has been on twice. A walk and a single.
And this Mercer lineup just getting it done top to bottom so far. Bottom of the lineup really doing a lot of damage, but every single starting player for Mercer's been on base today.
Full count. With 2 outs in the inning, the runners will get a head start. Antonio Brown would be next. Bottom of the order has done a lot of damage for Mercer tonight. Way outside to the backstop.
This ball kicks all the way. Into the backstop. Not what you want to see first batter from Noah Short.
A 5th walk issued by Seminole pitching tonight. And here we are again. Bases loaded for Mercer. This is where they've done the bulk of their damage. They've knocked in 7 of their 9 runs with the bases full of Bears tonight. Antonio Brown's been on all 3 times.
He has. Senior right-hander. I'll tell you what, man, it's Florida State. I'm sure Coach Mike Apposey, the pitching coach for Florida State, will have a talk with his staff. You know, typically the bottom third of your lineup is not going to be your best hitting group, right? You know, they obviously, they're in college, they're in the lineup, they got some ability, but typically that's not your best 3 in the lineup. And today, Florida State has only gotten the bottom 3 hitters out 2 times.
It speaks to the depth of this Mercer batting order. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Brown. Seminoles have the middle of the order due up in the bottom of the 6th. Still a lot of time for Florida State to mount a comeback, but the late innings are on the horizon. Brown just got a piece of that sweeper.
Good spot right there by Noah Short, slowing that pitch down and just letting it break away from the hitter. But Antonio Brown seeing the ball well tonight, and stays on it just enough to see another pitch.
Another 2-2. Just outside. A close miss. And now the count runs full. Get the merry-go-round started.
Florida State faithful not liking that one.
Outside. Another close miss. And Short walks in a run. Brown will get credit for his 11th RBI of the year. He's been on 4 times.
Miami, maybe they're just coming off that adrenaline high and just hitting a wall right now on this Tuesday midweek game against Mercer. But not to take anything away from Mercer and their bats. They have been amazing so far this game.
This is Jackson Cherry, the DH, batting for a 5th time already tonight. As Abraham drops in the off-speed pitch to jump ahead. Cherry, the 8th hitter of the inning, and the 2nd time that he's batted with the 3rd time he's batted with the bases loaded tonight. Tough to keep track. And
right.
A 2-run single with the bases loaded back in that 7-run 4th.
And he's the not the RBI leader, but definitely the power leader on this team with 11 homers, 6 doubles, and a triple, and a slugging percentage coming into today at .694.
Good bite to that breaking pitch to jump in front. This inning started with a ground out, and then 3 reached, sac fly, followed by consecutive walks. Only 2 hits in the frame, but 2 more runs across for the Bears as Abraham deals a 1-2.
Jackson Cherry able to stay on that one. The curveball down in the zone has definitely been his nemesis so far today, but good job right there, able to keep his hands back and fight that one off to see one more pitch.
Another 2-strike pitch way upstairs.
That one right there looks like it crossed up. Catcher Jackson West. I think he thought that was going to get away from him, and a little bite at the end came back down. So not on the same page right there.
Swing and a miss. Breaking ball in the dirt, strikes out Cherry for a 3rd time, and Marco Dinges scheduled. Bouncing ball up the middle into center field. Jaime Ferrer aboard for the first time tonight.
Good piece of hitting right there by Jaime Ferrer, jumping on the first pitch, and you know, when you got a sidearm guy, man, you got to get the ball up in the zone, and that's exactly what he does. And he stays back, stays through up the middle, and another leadoff single for the Noles, who in their defense have had the leadoff batter on 4 out of the 6 innings. So 8 hits to their credit, just not able to get the runs across quite like Mercer has tonight.
And Florida State just 2 for 8 with men on base. Jackson West, the catcher, has gone 1 for 2. Singled his first time back in the 2nd.
Jackson West has been really consistent for the Seminoles in this lineup. And you see how hard he works behind the plate. He's a very good defensive catcher, but has really turned himself into a wonderful hitter in this lineup. .338 this season in limited playing time, which is always tough when you're not seeing the bats consistently.
Takes the 2-0 fastball over the outside edge for a called strike. Launched his first home run as a Seminole here last Tuesday in the blowout win over Florida.
Yeah, his dad sent me a picture of the bottle of bourbon he cracked open in celebration. It's always good to get your first home run against the rival Gators too, right?
Time is called. Looks like the home plate umpire Robert Nunez is telling Takis that he's got to make sure the batter's ready before he comes set. Jackson West hit 1 home run in limited at-bats last season as a member of the Alabama Crimson Tide. So he's got 2 in his college career now. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Jackson's brother Gage, older brother Gage, also a Seminole. I think Jackson's first college career hit was a home run. I think Gage West's first college career home hit was also a home run.
Oh, power in those jeans, huh?
A little bit. Jackson having a good at bat right here against the soft throwing sidearm guy. He's battling through these. You got Jaime Ferrer at first with nobody out. You got to try to drive something here.
It's another foul ball back behind the screen. Hasn't been all that long since Mercer last beat Florida State. Seminoles visited Ortho Georgia Park up in Macon and fell to these Bears back in 2022. But it has been a dominant all-time series run for the Seminoles against the visitors from the SoCon. 61-10 all-time against Mercer. That's inside a full count on West.
Jackson West he's just one of those bulldogs in the batter's box. You look at him, he's kind of all over the place, moving around in there. Little ADHD action, but man, he battles.
Ferrer runs, and it's yanked foul.
That's what I was talking about too. He saw that pitch up in the zone, and Jackson with another foul ball, another good job of trying to extend this at bat. Now you got 2 strikes on you. You can't leave it up to the umpire. You don't want to take anything close. You expand your zone and just try to fight for another pitch if you don't, until you get your pitch.
With Ferrer running again, West shoots another one foul. Next pitch from Takis to West. It'll be the 10th of the plate appearance. Seminoles trailing by 7 runs at home in the 6th. They need base runners. Ferrer led off the inning with a single. West trying to keep the line moving with Dinges, the designated hitter, on deck.
Yeah, that's your approach right now, is get on base, extend the inning for as long as possible. If nobody makes the first out, you score runs.
A long hold and another check in on Ferrer at first.
You see the catcher right there giving the signal for the pickoff. He squeezed the mitt, and as soon as he squeezes the mitt, that's when the pitcher jumps into action.
3-2 pitch rolled towards the right side. Brown has it, and with Ferrer in motion, the only play to first. I saw a lot of pitches there, but Jackson West retired.
Heck of an at bat right there by Jackson West. Try to, in all honesty, probably hits that ball in the hole if Antonio Brown is Seminole. And I'll tell you what, he's definitely right. It's a different feeling and a different atmosphere when you get to don the garnet and gold.
Well said. You donned it for a couple years, a redshirt season in between your transfer from Mercer to Florida State, and then obviously had a terrific senior season before you were drafted by the Colorado Rockies. Well, 2-0 here on Marco Dinges, who's gone hitless in 2 at-bats tonight. Overshift on, 3 infielders to the left of second. And it's 3-0. Daniel Cantu, who homered his last time, in the on-deck circle for Florida State. The Seminoles need some sort of crooked number inning to really feel like they're back in this game.
Yeah, you're never really out of it too. With college and the way the bats get swung nowadays, you're never fully out of it. And this Florida State lineup, holy moly! I mean, they have the ability to turn it on at any point during this game.
It's a high fly ball, medium center field. Tadaro camps under, and Ferrer will head to third base on the second out.
Ball hit a mile high. Marco Dinges just a hair out in front of that ball. I'll bet, that ball's hit a little more solidly on the line. That ball probably hits the flagpole in center field here at Mike Martin Field, but Dinges very frustrated, I'm sure, with that swing and that result.
Ferrer at third with 2 outs for Daniel Cantu. Line to left field. On comes Prince to make the catch.
Florida State this season.
The only other team to do that is a top 5 Clemson squad.
Yeah, it just goes to show you. I mean, baseball is tough no matter who you're playing, but any time you put the uniform on, you're gonna have to battle somebody who wants it just as bad as you do.
Prince Daly and Todaro for Mercer in the 7th, facing the freshman John Abraham, who came on and struck out the only batter he faced with the bases loaded and 2 outs last inning. Florida State has used 7 pitchers tonight. They have not used 8 in a game this season. Third time they've used 7 arms. Here's a 1-2. Prince had a run-scoring double in Mercer's 7-run 4th inning.
That was a previous 2-strike swing. I think the count there was 1-2 or 2-2, and was able to get his bat barrel to a very tough curveball. Brandon Prince, who's shown a lot of power in his last several games. So you see that right there, those numbers. He's 0 homers in his first 27 games, but 4 just in his last 7 games.
And works a walk here to start the Mercer half of the 7th. Well, he has found the launch angle, and Mercer has had some comfortable swings seemingly all night long against Florida State pitching. Just a day trip for the Bears, making the roughly 3-hour drive from Macon. Heck, they were just here at Tallahassee last Tuesday, beat up on Florida A&M. Craig Gibson told us that they took a little bit of a different route this time. I guess he's not all that superstitious.
He said his daughter lives in Thomasville, so he tries to make this trip every year to come spend some time with her or see her. I'm sure she's at the ballpark today. See Craig Gibson right there.
Two balls, no strikes on Ty Daly. 0 for 3 with the walk tonight.
You talk about hot too, but Ty Daly's been pretty spectacular in his last 10 or 11 games. Like we said a little earlier, 23 hits in 11 games. Also leads the team in RBIs. Quickly up 3-0. Nobody out and a runner on first here against John Abraham, though.
Taking all the way. It's a 4-pitch walk. Frustrating night for Florida State pitching. They've now issued 8 free passes. And Micah Posey's on his way out there to chat with the Frosh from Tampa.
Yeah. That doesn't include that they've hit 2 batters too, haven't they not?
They have.
So
that's 10 free passes
10
if you look at
passes,
it that way.
Yeah. And doing it in the beginning of innings is just letting this Mercer lineup, gain a lot of confidence.
Well, Florida State is not the only ranked team in some trouble tonight. 10th ranked Virginia trails Old Dominion 7-1 in the late innings. 9th ranked East Carolina deadlocked at 7 with William and Mary. 7th ranked Duke trails Gardner Webb 1-0 at home, top of the 8th inning.
Just goes to show you, man, anybody can win at any given day in baseball. You might be having an off day, and your opponent's having the best day ever. I see Coach Gibby giving signs there from the dugout. What do you think he's going with? 10. You're up 7 runs, first and second, nobody out.
Against this team, he knows the numbers on the other side. He knows what Florida State's capable of. No lead is comfortable.
Well, you got a guy up the bat who's he swung.
He offered at it. This is Connor Todaro, the cleanup hitter, who has gone hitless in 4 at-bats tonight. Rather, was hitless until his double back in the 6th inning.
You saw Todaro. He got jammed up a little bit and still able to drive that ball off that right center field fence out there. So I think the umpire actually just called a time clock violation on the pitcher. I'm sorry, on the hitter. So now quickly 0-2.
Don't see that too often.
No.
Oh my goodness. Todaro goes down swinging on a pitch that didn't start a strike and didn't land a strike, but it nets Abraham his second strikeout of the night.
Yeah, that's what helps make Abraham effective. I mean, he's a hard throwing righty, can throw the, get the ball, fastball into the low 90s, and he's got a hard slider. I had a coach that, I won't use what he called those sliders because I don't think I could say it on TV here, but that was one of them. Hard slider down in the zone. There it is again right there. He's steady dose of them. I'll tell you what, you got Parker Lester, who
triple shy of the cycle.
Triple shy of the cycle here tonight, but extended his hitting streak to 15 games and in just absolute fashion with a solo homer, a double, and a single so far tonight. And Florida State's a place where you can hit a triple if you get it to the right spot in center field.
Was the SoCon Player of the Week earlier in the season. He'll be in the running if he has a big weekend against Wofford. What he's done tonight.
I'm gonna say, if somebody can figure out how to get him out, tell the Knowles pitching staff.
Mercer is 5 for 12 with men in scoring position tonight. 2-2 on Lester. Once upon a time, he opened the scoring for Mercer with a solo home run back in the second. One of 2 homers for the Bears tonight. The other was a grand slam off the bat of Noah Best in a 7-run 4th inning. It's pretty much the difference here. Two on, 1 out, top of the 7th. A couple walks open the inning before Todaro struck out, and now time is called.
Good
strike. 3 looking. A backdoor breaking ball freezes Lester.
Abraham with a really, really good curveball right there. You know, Lester was sitting dead red fastball in that count. And I'll tell you what, Abraham dropped it right in there for a strike. It was a strike all the way. Jackson West all smiles with that pitch.
Noah Best in the air to right center field. Williams shy of the warning track, puts it away. And after back-to-back walks to open the inning, Abraham. Terrific job cashing in with runners in scoring position.
Sure have.
Still a few innings to play with for the 8th-ranked Seminoles, who are 22-1 at home this season and undefeated this year against non-ACC competition.
Yeah, they got 9 outs to play with. That's what you tell them when you get back in the dugout. You got 9 outs to score 7 runs. It can be done. We've done it before.
Thoreau, Lodis, and Williams scheduled for Florida State. That is popped up. Sanford, the catcher, has a play.
Just a soft, slow pitch there by Takis, and Drew Thoreau with a lazy pop fly to the catcher. Very frustrating for the Seminoles right there. That's not what you want to do to lead off an inning.
Alex Lodis reaches for it. Base hit left field. A multi-hit night for Lodis, who had a run-scoring single back in the 3rd. On a night where Florida State, through 5 of the first 6 innings, had a leadoff base runner, maybe it's better that the leadoff guy gets out.
Maybe.
I mean, we got to try something here, right?
Maybe try some 1 and 2 out hitting. Let's see what we can get done. But Lodis with another good hit right there, and that brings up Max Williams, who's had a perfect night so far, and it's going to continue that streak. Look at this.
Yeah, Max Williams is 4 for 4. A huge turnaround first. Now has to put on the brakes and scurry back. 4 singles at the leadoff spot for Max Williams tonight. And the Seminoles have strung together back-to-back hits with 1 out in the 7th.
Yeah, Lodi's doing a good job of getting to the back to the top of the lineup, and you see Max Williams right there jumping all over the first pitch, waiting back, keeping his hands back, shoots it down the line. And the right fielder coming up with a big throw right there to keep Max Williams off second base.
There's Cam Smith. Smith extended his on-base streak to 46 with a 5th inning walk.
He is hitless so far, but he's the kind of guy you want up in this situation. 2 runners on, and your 2-hole hitter who's, I wouldn't even call it he's been struggling of late. He was just so good in the beginning of the season that, you know, his average has dropped from the 500s to the 400s.
Smith goes the other way. Base hit into the right field corner. Farrow scores. Williams will be sent home. It's an RBI triple for Cam Smith. And it's 10-5 Mercer in the 7th inning.
That's a huge, huge hit by Cam Smith, and that was the exact approach we were talking about in his last at bat. He had that huge walk for them last at bat, but this one right here, man, stays within himself, lets that ball travel and shoots it all the way down to the right field corner for a triple. And you saw the big man speed right there. He came in. That's not an easy triple to get with that short right field fence at this park. And guy, and you see exactly what they're doing right here. You got a runner on third, 1 out, and the best RBI guy in the country coming up in James Tibbs. But lefty-lefty matchup, you're trying to play the numbers, get the out, trade the out for the run here, right?
Tibbs has gone hitless in 3 at-bats tonight. 87-mile-per-hour fastball from O'Neill. Pitched a couple of innings over the weekend at home against VMI. Tibbs, the junior from Marietta, Georgia, tied atop the country and runs batted in, 4th in total bases, top 10 in slugging percentage, knocking on the door to the top 10 in total homers with 15.
You see that take right there from Tibbs. That's just a big league take, man. That's a good left-handed on left-handed hitter pitch, and that sweeping, that ball sweeping away. See, you don't see a lot of good hitters able to lay off that pitch.
2 balls, 2 strikes on the Florida State slugger. 17 home runs last season, most in a single campaign for Tibbs, who's launched 42 in 2.5 seasons at Florida State. Here's a 2-2. Line to right field and caught by Antonio Brown in the overshift, about 15 feet onto the outfield grass. He catches the hot smash off the bat of Tibbs. 2 outs. Second time he's hit the ball hard into the overshift with nothing to show for it.
Yeah, that's a really good piece of hitting. Hit very, very hard. See, Antonio Brown almost drops that ball, and that's got to be very frustrating for James Tibbs, who's squared up his last 2 balls with nothing to show for it. And that's just sometimes how it goes, man. But James Tibbs, 2 really, really good swings his last 2 at bats, and it's all you can ask from the young man.
I feel like you got to get Cam Smith in here. This is Jaime Ferrer, the cleanup hitter, who singled his last time. He's 1 for 3. Towards the middle. Brown on the shortstop side of the bag. Loads up. Not in time. Ferrer legs out an infield base hit. 3rd run of the inning, and it's 10-6.
I'll tell you what, Jaime Ferrer's not your speed demon in this Florida State lineup. He is not the fastest guy, but he never doesn't run hard, man. And he was just busting it out of the box the entire time. and just beats this play handedly, man. And you got to do that. You got to fight for that. You got to fight for that safe call to get that RBI. Great hustle play by Jaime Ferrer.
115th career RBI for Ferrer. And ball one to Jackson West, who's 1 for 3. He needed that crooked number inning. 3 across here in the bottom of the 7th.
Like we talked about before the inning, Florida State finally doesn't get the leadoff or batter on base, and they're able to put up a 3 spot. It's pretty dang good, and you still got a chance for a few more with middle of the lineup up right now.
West, the 7th man to bat in the inning, takes ball 2 from Jackson O'Neill. 3 singles and that 2-run triple off the bat of Cam Smith have highlighted this 3-run last half of the 7th. Not over yet. Ball 3 to West, with a dangerous hitter in Marco Dinges due up next.
Yeah, Jackson showing, I'll tell you what, for a young guy, he's showing a lot of maturity, man. He takes some borderline pitches and he just fights through at bats, and look at that, gets his walk, and that's exactly what you got to do, man. You got to get on base for the next guy, and you look at your next 2 guys in the Florida State lineup. You got Marco Dinges, who's got nine homers and 37 RBIs on the season. You got Daniel Cantu, who's already homered once tonight, and he has lined out hard his other 2 at bats. So, guy, and you see the coaching staff here at Mercer trying to play that matchup again, man. This is righty. Marco Dinges hadn't had his best night, grounded into a double play. He struck out and he's flown out to center so far today, but getting better each at bat and just missing a ball in his last one. So, you know what they say, hits are contagious, and there's been 4 of them so far this inning.
Dinges 0 for 3 tonight, and he's hit by a pitch. That will load the bases and bring the potential tying run into the batter's box. Oh, Tucker, the first pitch he throws, runs inside and gets a piece of Dinges.
That's right, and Dinges just able to turn his body at the last second. That's the old Charlie horse dead leg right there, man. Right in that top thigh muscle.
Foot shot back in the 5th inning. 4th home run of the season.
Yeah, Daniel Cantu, I know that was a ball that he hit out of the park, but he's been impressive. All 3 at bats, hitting line drives and just right at people in his other 2.
Cantu is 2 for 3 this season with the bases loaded.
That's a pretty good batting average if my math is correct.
Hitting .303 against Southpaws, and he falls behind quickly, 0-2. Saw him doing his best golf impression on Saturday. Can he pull out the 9-iron here? Swing and a miss. Kosper comes out of the bullpen.
Inning, so a big inning there for Florida State, scoring 3 runs. Dennison would love to see a shutdown inning. And I know the coaching staff would love to see it as well.
Good life on the fastball that misses outside. Dennison made 3 starts, appeared in 18 games as a freshman last year. 2-4 record with an earned run average of 6. As Carter Sanford lifts a fly ball towards left center, Williams calls off Ferrer for the first out.
Good start by Dennison right there. A little high fastball. Getting Carter Sanford. Fly out to center. Nice good start back for Ryan Dennison.
Dennison, the 8th pitcher used by Florida State tonight. First time that's happened in a game this season for the Noles. Bradley Fry takes ball 1. Fry's been on 3 times tonight. Pair of walks and a single.
A real uncharacteristic night for the Noles on the free pass side with the walks and hit by pitches, and I'll tell you what, when you keep throwing that many pitches, and typically in a midweek game you see teams throw the whole bullpen. They're trying to get some guys some action, maybe throw him 25, 35 pitches, and those 35 pitches sneak up on you quite quickly when you walk a lot of guys.
Will Prestwood down at first base said no swing from Bradley Fry. Spent his freshman year at Georgia Tech, second year at Mercer. One more ACC opponent on the docket for these Bears. They will head to Atlanta and take on the Yellow Jackets, try and get some revenge after they lost at home to Georgia Tech last month. They beat Georgia Tech last year in a game that was only 5.5 innings. Bradley Fry has been on 4 times tonight, and the bottom of the order continues to feast for Mercer.
Yeah, another single right there. And that was just a good piece of hitting from a mature hitter. Ryan Dennison falling behind the batter, and Fry able to get a 3-1 fastball, and again, not try to do too much, but pulls his hands in, gets the barrel of the ball, shoots it in the hole for another hit and another time on base for that young man.
Speaking of times on base, Antonio Brown out of the 9 spots, been on 4 times. They will finally retire him here on a fielder's choice.
Sort of.
Kind of.
He's still on base.
Technically an out, but
yeah,
he does reach base. Doesn't help his on-base percentage at all.
No.
As they cut down the lead runner Fry on the 5-4 fielder's choice. Base runner with 2 outs for Jackson Cherry, who's gone 1 for 5 tonight with a 2-run single. Back in a 4th inning where Mercer scored 7 times.
Tell you what, Florida State's probably been missing this arm from Dennison. Hadn't thrown since February 18th, and you see his stuff is really, really good. He's got a low to mid-90s fastball. You saw the changeup right there at 86, just falling off the table away from a left-handed batter. Goes back to back with it again.
A 2-0 to Cherry. Brandon Prince on deck. 8 walks issued by Florida State pitching tonight. There's also been a couple of hit batters. The hit column is even. Both sides have 12.
Mercer's made a pitch right there just off the plate. Tell you what, Robert Nunez, the home plate umpire, he's been tight all night. He's been fair but tight. He has not given that outside pitch. He's not calling anything up. He's got a real tight big league style strike zone tonight.
And there's certainly been no shortage of swagger tonight. He says that's the personality of Mercer baseball. Back to you guys.
Nicely done, Kylie. That is a fair ball inside the bag at first. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. They all score on a bases clearing double for Brandon Prince. He's got 5 RBIs tonight. And Mercer gets all 3 of those runs back on 1 swing. So Ty Daly just sneaks it inside that line and get into that right field corner. We saw Cam Smith triple down there in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, he drops this ball, and Cantu giving it his best effort right there. But like you said, man, it's in a dire situation where you have to get these. You have to put up a 0 in the runs column for this inning. You see Ryan Dennison just giving those runs back right there on a bases clearing double.
Foul ball off the bat. It's Tadaro, the cleanup hitter, is up there for a 6th time. Boy, and that's just been the theme of the night. Bases loaded for Mercer. They cash in time and time again.
Absolutely. They've we're in the 8th inning. They've had the bases loaded 4 of the 8 innings and taken advantage of them almost every time. They've been lights out with runners in scoring position tonight.
Now 6 for 15 with runners in scoring position. There's strike 3 swinging. Fisher with 11 hits and 34 at-bats this year. A double, 3 homers, 9 RBIs. From the Cheese State to the Sunshine State. Had 3 hits a couple weekends ago in the Boston College Series. He's a North Woods League All-Star, leaving high school and getting ready for his first season at Florida State last summer.
Tell you what, that Wisconsin diet, I'm sure he's grateful to be in Florida. That Wisconsin diet's just beer, cheese, and fudge, man. I'm almost positive.
Slow bouncer, going to be a tough play for Fry, and he throws out Fisher. No, he just featured him, and he flashes the leather on a terrific charging effort and throw out to the pinch hitter Cal Fisher to open the home half of the 8th.
That's a great play by Fry. He had to charge it all the way. Really, you only have one shot in this. I mean, hustle. It's a hustle play. You got to get rid of the ball quick. Makes a perfect throw to first base and gets the speedy Cal Fisher.
Ball 1 outside to Alex Lodis, who's had 2 hits out of the 9 spot, including a run-scoring double back in the 3rd.
Well, this is how the Seminoles started out last inning, with first batter getting out, and then Alex Lodis starting it off with a single.
The 3 runs that Mercer added in the top half of the inning just took all the momentum back. 2-2. It's 10-6. Then bases clearing double for Ty Daly stretched the lead back to 7 runs for Mercer.
Yeah, Mercer's no mercy at the plate, man. They are finding ways on base and taking advantage of the opportunities they are getting.
Strike 3 looking on the inside corner. And Colton Cosper has his 2nd punch out.
Yeah, this one just froze. Alex Lodis just couldn't pull the trigger. It's a perfect spot in on the hands. You don't usually see lefty versus righty bringing it in on the hands, but that's exactly what he does right there and freezes Lodis.
Max Williams has been a bright spot for Florida State. 4 for 4, 4 singles.
Yeah, it's hard to you know, take anything away from the Florida State Seminoles offense. They've put up 12 hits and honestly had some loud outs, a couple of really hard line drive screamers that have turned into outs. But I think the difference in this game has just been the walks, free passes for the Mercer Bears.
Williams has picked up hits in 7 straight games. I just showed you those numbers he put together against Miami Hurricane pitching over the weekend. A full count with Cam Smith waiting on deck. And we confirm it with the appeal down to Kevin Bradley. Strike 3 on the outside corner. And Colton Cosper.
Opportunities, throw him out there and see what he can do.
Upstairs to Parker Lester. Mercer 13 runs on 13 hits. Lester has 3 hits, and here's his final bid for the cycle tonight. He's a triple shy.
He is a triple shy. He's with a 2-0 count. Tell you what, if I know I'm triple shy, I'm swinging. 2-0 no matter what.
He did. By the way, Cal Fisher, who pinch ran for Drew Farreau, or rather pinch hit for Drew Farreau in the bottom of the 8th, is taken over defensively at second base. 3-1 on Lester. Got to pull the trigger here, right?
Yeah, again, you're looking, sitting dead red fastball, and you're trying to get that 4th hit of the game. Whether it's a triple or not, you're definitely trying to get this 4th hit.
Got a good pitch to hit, fouled it straight back. Florida State embarking on a 3-game series in Winston-Salem against the 12th ranked Wake Forest Demon Deacons. A tough series down there. Strike 3 over the inside edge. Saucer gets Lester looking.
Yeah, Lester didn't like that call, but that's the one pitch that seems to be a little oddest. And I don't know if it was outside the zone, but in on lefties has been called all night by home plate umpire Robert Nunez. And boy, he K's him up on that one. That was a great pitch by pitcher Matt Saucer.
Best will not be forgetting his trip to Tallahassee anytime soon. Launched a grand slam back in the 4th inning. This is a guy that started his career at the Division III level at Birmingham Southern College in Alabama. Swinging it really well of late. 5 hits over the weekend against VMI. He's hit safely in 6 straight. To go from Division III to hitting a pivotal grand slam against a top 10 Florida State program that has such a rich baseball history, this ballpark as well.
Absolutely.
Pretty special moment.
That's how you climb the ladder in college sports right there. You know, you start out at a D3, you probably never think you're ever going to step foot on a field quite like this one, and then you get your opportunity, you take full advantage of it.
4-pitch walk. Unfortunately for Florida State, that's been a theme, as they've now issued 10 free passes against Mercer hitting tonight, along with a few hit by pitches. One on, one out for Carter Sanford, the catcher.
Weird night because they also have 12 strikeouts. So it's feast or famine, I guess.
I guess. Put your defense to sleep.
It doesn't help.
Into shallow center for Williams, 2 outs. Or rather, Diamez Ross has taken over in center, with Williams shifting over to left. Jaime Ferrer no longer in the game. Ross, the sophomore in his 2nd season here. Lester runs. West. Oh, it was on the money if Fisher could have held on there. Instead, stolen base.
Yeah, ball gets there just in time, but I think Cal Fisher maybe collided. Maybe the batter or the runner's helmet hit his glove right before the ball went in there. Yeah, tough one.
Some good zip on it. Bradley Fry has been on 4 times tonight with a pair of walks and a pair of hits. There's his 3rd into right field. Best will get the green light. Here comes the throw from Tibbs, and Best is a dead duck. Well, James Tibbs, we talk about all that he can do with his bat. Florida State is 61-10 all time against the Bears, and they have never lost to Mercer here at Dick Howser Stadium.
Well, Florida State's got 3 outs left in this ball game to try to get that stat to stay the same.
Well, we already have seen a 7-run inning in this game.
That's true.
What's another one going to do to us? Cam Smith tripled home 2 his last time, facing Colton Cosper, who's retired all 4 hitters he's faced.
Colton Cosper works really, really quick. He's not giving these hitters a whole lot of time to settle in. And
Smith loops it into center field for his 2nd hit tonight. A familiar tune for Cam Smith, who's recorded multiple hits in all 5 games of this homestand.
Yes, 2 more hits for him tonight, and that one right there is kind of a little excuse me swing. Again, like I said, Cosper not giving hitters a whole lot of time to settle in, and that's you know, Cam Smith just being Cam Smith. He's strong, and he could take a check swing right into right into right field for a single anytime, I guess.
A conspicuously quiet night for James Tibbs, who's gone 0 for 4.
Couple loud outs in his last 2 at-bats, though. Real hard line out, right into the shift where the second baseman seems to be playing him.
Comes up empty on that swing. Jaime Ferrer no longer in this game, so Diamez-Ross is on deck. In the air to center field. Tadaro waits for it. 1 away.
Rare sighting seeing James Tibbs chase something up out of the zone, but Cosper had him off balance and just out of his rhythm right there. So James Tibbs frustrated with that at bat as he pops up to right field. I'm sorry, center field.
Ends his night 0 for 5. Diamez-Ross, 270 hitter. Second season as a Seminole. A late inning defensive replacement.
Diamez-Ross, man, he's been a spark plug for Florida State. When he is in the lineup, he's a guy that just finds his way on base. He kind of is always in the middle of something, making stuff happen.
363 on base average. 287 as a freshman last year. Takes a called strike.
Yeah, he's been a guy that when he's healthy, he plays with a big old smile on his face. He's a hustle guy, so definitely a leader by example in this Florida State lineup.
2 on Ross. It's midweek sandwiched in between a couple of home series for Mercer. A liner into center field, hanging up for Tadaro, 2 away.
For a mid-major.
And Jordan Williams, the junior, reserve outfielder. 3 hits and 6 at-bats this season. Has primarily been used as a pinch runner and defensive replacement when he's seen time.
Yeah, very speedy. When he is on base, he is always a threat to steal, that's for sure.
Seminoles down to their final strike. Only had a brief lead tonight. It was 2-1 Florida State after the 3rd, but then Mercer scored 7 times in the top of the 4th and never looked back.
Yeah, bats really came alive, and they really never quit. Like you said, they put themselves in big-time situations. Got bases loaded several times tonight, and took advantage of it several times tonight, to be honest. Grand slam, a 3-run double, and 7 runs on 2 swings.
Something to build off of for sure. 1-2 pitch. Williams fouls it back. Baseball is a funny game. Florida State coming off the emotional, terrific week of a blowout win here last Tuesday over Florida. They sweep the rival Hurricanes. Tensions rise late in that series finale on Saturday. Mercer loses 2 of 3 at home to the Virginia Military Institute.
Right.
They come here to Tallahassee and do this.
Baseball's
1-2
funny,
pitch.
like you said.
In the air to right field. Tadaro chasing and watches that land out of play.
Well, I'll tell you what, too, if you look at the scoreboard, this is how funny it is. You look up at the scoreboard and you look at Florida State's line, 6 runs on 13 hits and 0 errors, right? And you would say, hey, man, they had a pretty good game. And you look at the pitching stats and you see 12 strikeouts, and then you look over and you see the 10 walks and 2 hit by batter, or 2 hit batters. That's the difference maker right there.
Popped up, right side, Lester squeezes, and Mercer shows no mercy. The Bears have upset number